Hello, beautiful Earth Angels. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Welcome to Earth Angels Unite. Hi, Benicia. Welcome. Podcast number 118. Inviting the Archangels of Trust. Increasing your ability to trust yourself and your angels takes courage and vulnerability. My teacher always says, if you want to hear your angels, you have to hear yourself first. Learning to trust your angels begins with trusting yourself. Trusting your body's truthful wisdom, trusting your heart's intuition, and trusting your soul's compassion and contentment is the sacred journey. Inviting the Archangels of Trust not only supports your increased intuition, but also your ability to ask for help, support, and guidance, both from humans and the divine in equal measure. And I just love that. So, excuse me, my intention with these podcasts is to create a space of transformation, that you come one person and you leave another person that you leave transformed. And we do this by shining our light, our heart light, on the wounds, the pain, the issue, and the tissue. And what is becoming more clear to me, right, is like my higher purpose. And I feel like I'm working with Earth Angels, but I'm specifically working with Earth Angels who are the generational curse breakers, the generational karma breakers. That's sort of the specific part of the Earth Angels that I'm working with. And I'm getting more and more clear on that, right? That we're here to change a pattern. This is part of my higher mission, to take a pattern that we may have been experiencing throughout our whole life or many lives, and getting all of the gems, all of the wisdom, right? The emeralds of the initiation, the sapphires of the storms, the gems of the journey, so that we don't have to repeat that pattern anymore. So yay, right? In these podcasts, I'll be sharing teachings from my debut book, Receiving from Your Angels, 4 practices to heal your pain with angel love, and an angel meditation or activation to really to help you to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust your soul, to trust your angels. Thank you, angels. So to help you to relax and cherish your body, and to receive angelic pain relief. My name is Jill Kempner, angel coach and author. As an angel coach, what I help my clients do is to heal the pain in their bodies, whether that pain is physical or emotional, with the love of the angels through the relax, release, receive process. The angels gave me, right, my own soul alongside my angels, right? Remember, they're on the same side, gave me a divine blueprint to assist you in breaking that karma, clearing that karma, healing that karma once and for all. And so I am on a mission to share that and to share my medicine in the most loving and authentic way. So thank you for being here. Whether you're here live, whether you're connecting with the replay, say hi if you're here. I know we have Instagram as well. So I want to welcome everyone who will be here live today, everyone who's connecting with the replay. Happy, well, to be surrounded in a circle of unconditional love, joy, healing, miracles, and empowerment. And so happy Tuesday, happy June. Can you believe it is June and we are in the solstice portal? Summer solstice is a few weeks away. We're in the Gemini sun sign. We're in between moon cycles. Next Wednesday will be a powerful full moon. And so, it's an honor to share the medicine of my book, the medicine of the angels. And that's what we've been doing this whole year. We have been journeying through my debut book, one step at a time. And I'm just so happy the angels gave me that idea this in the beginning of the year, sort of in December, of just slowing everything down and talking about each step of the relax, release, receive process. And we began with Renew Your Devotion, which is all about making that commitment to your angels, to receiving love from your angels, to staying in the flow of your angels' love, no matter what shadow arises. And in that practice, honestly, that practice is so foundational and so powerful. You could get so much relief just from that practice, right? Setting your intention, devoting and redevoting, creating a daily angel practice, and being gentle with yourself when you break the sacred promise. Right? So that's Renew Your Devotion. And it's a foundational practice because we are human. We are a soul having a human experience. And there's moments when we forget that. We forget our soul connection. We forget our angelic connection, and we get kind of hijacked by the ego, if you will, stuck in the ego, blocked by the ego. And this, what I've learned, and I'm continuing to learn, but I know that I've learned it, I've gotten to some level of learning, is that the more, and I was just talking about this with a client, the more gentle you are with yourself, the more loving, the more compassionate, the more gentle you are with yourself when you break that sacred promise, when you go back to that pain or fear pattern. The more gentle you are with yourself, the easier it'll be to shift back into the flow of your angel's love. Practice number 2 is relax and cherish your body, right? And the levels of relaxation and the power of relaxation. Physical relaxation, activating your energetic roots, right? Releasing the tension from your body. Sometimes just that alone, I'm like, wait, okay, just like relax. I can feel a shift, right? Back to my heart, back to my soul connection, my angelic connection. Emotional relaxation, which is one of my favorites, because I felt the opposite of that for so long as a child, is about, knowing there's room. There's room for all of you. Every feeling, every emotion, every part is loved. And there's so much more. I'm just giving a little tiny little, sprinkle. Mental relaxation, is calming the monkey mind. It's slowing down the thoughts so that you can access the space between the thoughts, right? Where the miracles reside. And then spiritual relaxation, which I feel like I'm learning a lot about right now as I go through a really powerful initiation of my own, is surrender, right? Surrendering the pain, the wound, the control, the drama, the pain. For healing, right? Detach, retreat, and let go so healing can occur. That is my mantra this month. Detach, retreat, and let go so healing can occur. And that's spiritual relaxation. And then we move into release and lead with your heart, which is what we've been talking about over the past, however many podcasts, right? And that being the most tender practice of all, right? This like, it's connected with the spiritual relaxation of surrender, letting go, but it's this conscious release of the pattern. It's a conscious release of the pain, knowing that you're safe, right? The safety nets of releasing are there. And knowing that we release and receive simultaneously. So we're receiving love and healing to release. And as we release, we're receiving love and healing. So they work together. Just listening, I thought I heard them say something. Thank you. And now we land in, it's interesting because it's sort of like where we all want to go, right? We all want to go to the receive and trust. That's like the best part of all this, right? Receive, trust, allow, receive, right? But we have to renew our devotion, relax and cherish our body, release and lead with our heart to get to the receiving. And over the next 6 podcasts, because there's 6 steps in here, because there's 5 clairs, right? There's 5 clairs. And then the first step of every practice in my book is what we're talking about today, inviting the archangels. And today we're talking about inviting the archangels of trust. And I think, we talk about divine order and, everything's divine. And that's one of my little like taglines to people, it's all divine, it's all divine, it's all divine. And, I know that's coming from my soul. That's coming from the angels. That's coming from my heart. But my ego does not always think everything is divine, especially the very difficult initiation that I went through with my brother's traumatic car accident. So in each of my practices, that's what was, thank you, angels. See, I knew they were saying something and I could hear them, but it didn't come through until this moment. There's the practice, there's the teaching. In each practice, there's a story, and that's what I didn't mention, right? There's a story, there's the teaching, then there's the practice, and there's a meditation. That's sort of the flow of the book. And I do believe that you can heal just by reading my book, just by having it in your space. Even if you don't read it, of course, obviously it'd be more powerful if you do read it and, take the action steps the angels are guiding you to. And in practice number 1, I talk about my dark night of the soul, right? Going to the psych hospital, the time after that of emotional confusion, and then how I developed my practice and the practice that we're talking about here today. In practice 2, I talk about the physical injuries, tearing my knee, tearing my shoulder, retiring from massage, becoming an angel coach, and that whole journey, right? And the other different, I talk about the wisdom of the body as the barometer. Practice 3, what I was talking about that whole time was, my father's tragic death. Release and lead with your heart, the most tender of all the practices. And then today, now this practice talking about my brother's traumatic car accident that happened it's 2018. So when I was writing my book, I was actually recovering from PTSD. I was experiencing a post-traumatic stress disorder from my brother's accident and recovery. And, there was a level of healing about writing the story. Actually the most proud of this story in the book, From Trauma to Trust, because I was literally going through it. And I took 3 of, at the time, that was the most difficult. I've been through equally painful initiations since then, right? Since 2018, because it's 2025 now. But at the time, it was the most painful initiation that I had been through, that I consciously walked through, that I intentionally walked through. And I wrote all of that in 7 pages. And I was really, really, really proud of that story. I mean, I still am. And so I'm going to be talking about that and elements of that and how that connects to trust and how that connects to asking for help, right? So I love that. Thank you so much, angels. So the initiation of trusting more and deeper can sometimes be painful. As I mentioned, I'm going through a personal experience, a personal initiation of needing to trust more. And it's challenging, right? If we've had betrayal, if we've had deep hurt, disloyalty. Of course, on the other side, right, is tremendous growth, healing, support, strength for sure. And remember, what does trust mean? Right? We want to invite the archangels of trust to assist us in receiving more love from your angels. Remember, my job as an angel coach is to make you an angel receiver, right? I'm going to give you the tools, the messages, the medicine, and the modalities to help you to access your angel's love and the answer to your pain. So trust is the firm belief in the reliability, truth, or strength of someone or something. And I'm like, wow, right? And trust is a muscle we can build. So sometimes the only way I know to get through hard things, like the initiation I'm currently going through, that seem impossible, is to ask for help. That is what I have learned on my journey. If I could look at all of the initiations that I've been through, the psych hospital and the dark night of the soul, tearing my knee and having surgery and tearing my shoulder, healing the grief of losing my father at such a young age, a tender age, and then my brother's traumatic car accident. Now, those aren't all the initiations I've been through. I've been through some more current ones that I'm still processing, right? The death of my mom, the death of my brother, being sort of an orphan, my whole family on the other side. There's a lot of layers of all that. But if I took one gem, this is what the angels are saying, of every single initiation, if there was a theme, a thread that ran through all of them that I had to learn, and I'm realizing literally as I'm speaking this to you out loud, oh, I have to name this. I never sent out my, I always do this, and I do it the day before, and I forgot, and I was going to do it this morning. I never sent out my reminder email to that I'm going live. So I just wanted to say that out loud because my part was like, I had a manager that was triggered about that. So I'm like, it's okay. It's all divine. The one theme, the gem of all of that, which is so connected with the angels and angel help and what I teach my clients and what I help my clients with, is to ask for help. Ask for help. It's like, wow, I just totally realized that right now. And I feel like that's why I'm such an angel ambassador. And then, this angel ambassador is I'm here reminding you to ask. And that's what inviting Archangels of Trust is all about, right? It's asking for help when you're in pain, when you're struggling, and now who are we asking for help, right? Trusted friends, family members, professionals, and the angels, right? It's not just the angels. It's not just the humans. It's both, right? What did they say? I love that they wrote asking for help, support, and guidance from both humans and the divine in equal measure. And that gave me like this moment of chills because I was like, wow, right? That we are Mary Magdalene, fully human and fully divine. We need the human support and connection and love and touch and all of that as equal to the spiritual love, support, touch. Okay, so many downloads. So asking for help, as vulnerable as that is, understand how brave and courageous that is. And that's why I am just so grateful for all of my clients who have said yes to themselves. It's not, they're not saying yes to me and my coaching programs. They are on some level, but they're saying yes to themselves, their soul, their healing, their body, their angels. And that like lights me up. And I'm so grateful that I have these beautiful programs, these coaching programs that can guide you to deepen your connection with your own angels. Right? And to learn how to ask for help and trust. Right? Because it takes a level of trust to ask for help. Okay, so many downloads. So one of the things I've learned in my 27 years of being in the healing arts field, right, is, and it's interesting because I now know that it's asking for help is a big, huge part of it, right? Is don't do it alone. You're not doing, and actually that was one of my cards this month was you don't have to go it alone. Inviting the archangels to help you trust more, love more, grow more is the strongest thing you can do. We can do hard things when we ask for help and trust that help. So the story I share about in my book, that's connected with practice 4, right, is about my brother's traumatic car accident. And of course, I learned so many valuable lessons from that experience. I did learn a deeper level of trust. I learned about the power of prayer. I learned about my intuition, right, as a gift, as a guide, that walked me through that traumatic experience. Hold on. I learned so many valuable lessons about trust, prayer, and intuition as a gift and guide, walking through that traumatic experience with my tools and my angels. Right? Because even though I didn't have my book yet, my book was still brewing inside of me. I had my daily angel practice. I didn't have the relax, release, receive process that was birthed through the initiations I went through until after the traumatic car accident. But I did have my angel practice. So before Dee's accident, it's all my brother's accident, I was committed to that daily angel practice, right? And I was committed to sharing my medicine. I was committed to my inner work and the energy work. But I truly had no idea about the power of prayer, my tools, and my gifts until they were all tested to the ultimate degree. And I do believe we go through tests. There's different spiritual leaders and teachers say different things about that, but I do believe that it's like what I feel like I'm helping my clients with is like studying for their final exam, right? That is like, oh, here's the final, right? Test. And sometimes there's layers of it, but here's the final test for you to understand the deeper meaning of this pain, of this wound, of this trauma, so you don't have to experience it again. I really believe that we can completely heal any physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual karma when we learn the lesson. So that's why I think I've been through so many hard, difficult things. Because the one thing that keeps me going through the hard stuff, and I've been through plenty of it, I've shared it over the course of many, many podcasts, we're at 118, is knowing there's a higher purpose and a deeper meaning. So I give that to you. So I want to talk about one little piece where I had to lean into my intuition. And this, I really actually usually typically don't talk about this. But as I'm preparing for a beautiful women's retreat in Riverwoods at the Sanctuary on next Saturday, the 14th, June 14th, it's all perfect, right? I'm talking about intuition. The retreat's called Angels and Intuition. I've been thinking about all the different ways that my intuition has supported me and guided me and allowed me to receive the divine downloads, the miracles, the healing, right? Because our clairs, right, are these beautiful, beautiful gifts. And we're going to be talking about the clairs over the next 5 podcasts after this, right? The power of our clairs, of these God-given intuitive channels, right? Direct line to the divine. So before we knew about the crash, Dylan was actually missing for 48 hours. And my mom was panicking. Okay, my mom was panicking. Hi, hello, welcome. Say hi if you're here. Hey, Bettina. Hi, Benicia. There you are. I was actually teaching IET the weekend of his crash. I had IET, basic level, at infinity, and a wedding. So my mom was panicking and I was tuning in. I'm like, nope, I got to use my tool. I'm like, I get why she's panicking, but I want to know, where's Dylan? So that Sunday morning before we found out, like, we didn't know anything. We just knew he was missing. And so I kept asking my angels, where's Dylan? Where's Dylan? Where's Dylan? Help us find Dylan. Now, I didn't know that he was missing. My mom didn't tell me until Sunday morning. I think she didn't want to worry me. She knew I had my training, blah, 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 blah. Initially, I was mad, but then I was like, you know what? It was probably divine protection so that I could focus on the work. And so a name popped in my head. So I kept asking, and a name popped in my head, one of Dylan's friends. And sure enough, that was the last person to see Dylan, was the name that came into my head. And it was a name that I hadn't heard in a very long time, a name I wasn't very happy about. Within hours of my intuition, the cops showed up at my mom's house and informed my mom that Dylan was in an accident, traumatic car accident, and he was at Northwestern. So we knew it was serious, so we got somebody to watch the kids because, the kids were younger at this point, and they still needed a babysitter. And so my mom, Bob, and I drove down to Northwestern. And then I go on and tell all the pieces, you can read my story in the book, and it's, all the pieces of that initiation and how hard that was. I did track down the kid, the friend, the acquaintance, I should say, that Dylan was with, and got more details about what had happened that night, like in the hours leading up to the accident. And obviously that was helpful for the doctors. That was helpful it was helpful for us to like put the pieces together. How did this happen? Blah, 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 blah. Thankfully, Dylan didn't hurt anybody but himself. He wasn't in a crash with anybody else. So even though the traumatic and scary ups and downs of the ICU, I relied on my intuition to guide me. So Dylan was in the ICU for 30 days. 3 days in the ICU could wreck your nervous system. Times 10, right? 30 days was a waking nightmare. The complications, the 107-degree fever, the rhabdomyolysis, the dialysis. He had a pulmonary embolism. There was actually something that happened to his heart. They thought there was something wrong with his heart. And I never wrote all this down, but I remember praying. I asked the angels, because they had to do this like kind of risky procedure, and they were hemming and hawing. Should they do it? Should they not? And all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, there is nothing wrong with his heart. Whatever they think is happening. Like I had the angels like work on it or whatever, and they did the procedure and everything was like fine. They like ruled that out. And I was like, I knew it. So you can see how my trust was building through this trauma. Right? And I remember doing it was like magic. I was doing magic. The angels were like, I don't know if they thought he had a wholeness or I'm annoyed with myself because I don't remember the details. I just remember the overall. I remember the end result was it's fine. And I remember my mom being like, how did you know? Because I told her, I'm like, I know there is nothing wrong. I am 100% sure of it. Because in those moments now, he's passed on the other side, but in those moments, you've got to be present, but it's so hard to be present because you're activated, right? You're afraid, you're stressed, you're upset, you're emotional, you're grieving. It's like, oh my God, like the emotions were out of control. But I was so devoted to being a channel of love, like I know you are. And that's why you're here. So if you're drawn to my work, you're a channel of love. You're ready to embody you already are embodying the benevolence of the divine. You trust your intuition to the next level. You walk with an awareness of your energy body. These were all the things I was learning through that trauma. So I hope that makes sense. So I continue to rely on my intuition to guide me, my practice to calm me, and my angels to hold me through the pain. Every time I asked for help from my angels or others, and I asked for a lot of prayers, I could feel my intuition expanding, my intuition growing. I could feel my spidey senses deepening. I could feel more love and more support. So it was like being vulnerable was so courageous. Asking for help was so courageous, right? Letting people in. So this is what I help my clients with, right? Trusting their intuition, building and trusting their intuition, right? We're building the muscle of trust through their daily angel practice, right? Like this is the core of everything. And so I walk my clients through creating a practice and then staying devoted to it. When the shadow arises, when the pain arises, when the PTSD and the trauma and the wound and the pain body come up, I support them in staying committed to their healing intention and to ask for help. Yes, Sarah, trust through the trauma. Yep. Hi. I help my clients trust the angels have their back by using the spiritual tools, right? We're building the muscle, just like you're going to build the bicep, right? By lifting up the dumbbell, right? You're going to build the muscle of trust by breathing, meditating, pouring in angel energy into your body, working with oracle cards, praying very intentionally, purposefully. It doesn't have to take a long time. I'm all about efficiency because I'm a double Virgo. I help my clients by trusting their body's truthful wisdom, by loving and cherishing their body. This is all about my work is to help you love and cherish your body exactly the way it is right now, right? Your angels love you. You don't need to change for your angels to unconditionally love you right now, even though they know your highest potential. They love you ultimately, intimately, deeply right now, exactly as you are. And that to me that's the relief. And I help them, right? What's the deeper meaning of this pain, right? But we don't just ask that. We have to go through we can ask that, and we can ask it as many times as you want, and you're going to get answers all the time because there's layers and layers and layers of the gem. There's lots of gems. But we do it when we're in a relaxed and receptive state, so that we get the answer more cleanly, purely. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I help my clients build a relationship with their angels, right? Through that daily practice, through self-energy work. And it's an honor. It's an honor to witness them, to support them, to help them deepen their connection to their soul, to their angels, to themselves. For deep, deep healing. My client is the healer. I am the facilitator of healing, right? I don't heal them. They heal themselves, right? And I give them the tools, the messages, the medicine, and the modalities, right? To heal themselves. So I'm all about empowering my clients to heal themselves and to have a coach walk by your side as you do that and celebrate with you, right? Hold you when there's a rejection, a failure, a pain, right? When the pain is loud, and then keep shining our light. So I hope that resonates. So you can transmute your trauma into trust by inviting the Archangels of Trust, right? If you've experienced a trauma, if you have PTSD, work with the Archangels of Trust, right? I call them this is the receive and trust your intuition. These also are the angels of intuition, the angels of trust, the angels of receiving, right? They have so much medicine, but I just thought Archangels of Trust. Thank you. Right? To assist you in clearing the shadows of each of your clairs, as well as deepening your connection to that clair, right? And we're going to be talking more about the clairs over the next 5 weeks, but those are the 5 intuitive channels that I've been talking about for years. So step 1 of this practice, right? If you want to trust more, if you want to strengthen your intuition, if you want to receive that love from your angels, you're going to be working with these archangels. Archangel Uriel, the angel of claircognizance, right? Innocence, hope, joy, illumination. Archangel Raziel, the angel of clairvoyance, inner vision, trust, and clairsentience. He's got two clairs in my book. There's a lot of reasons for that. Clairsentience, clear feeling, clairaudience. Sorry, let me slow it down. That was Raziel, clairvoyance and clairsentience. Archangel Orion, the angel of clairaudience, right? Clear hearing, hearing audible messages from your angels. And then clairfragrance, Archangel Jophiel, right? Archangel Orion is the angel of miracles, clairaudience, unconditional love, right? Connecting with the upper chakras, the spiritual chakras. Although he's specifically the ears, he works with all the spiritual chakras, right, that are in the aura. And then Jophiel, Archangel Jophiel, the angel of clairfragrance. She is the angel of patience, space clearing, beauty, divine worthiness, right? So these archangels can support you in deepening your connection to your angels through your intuitive channels. So let's do a little activation with them. I have their prayer in here that I'm going to read, and we're going to ask just a couple of questions. So I invite you to close your eyes. If that's available for you, take some cleansing breaths. And switch on your inner light through your breath. Feel your breath anchoring you into the now, into your body, into your heart, and onto the earth. See your roots sinking deep into the earth. Relaxing your body, relaxing into the energetic roots. Opening your heart in gratitude. You can place one or both hands there, or just your attention. If you're listening to this later and driving or doing the dishes or whatever. And saying, I'm devoted to receiving love and trust from my angels. And then breathe and let your heart open to your angel's love. Let your mind align with divine mind. And let your self receive your angel's love, loyalty, enthusiasm, devotion for you and your healing journey, for your trust journey, they're saying. So I'm going to do this in first person like it is in the book. I invite the help and healing transmission of Archangel Uriel, the angel of claircognizance, Archangel Raziel, the angel of clairvoyance and clairsentience, Archangel Orion, the angel of miracles and clairaudience, and Archangel Jophiel, the angel of clairfragrance and patience, to guide and protect me. Thank you for blessing and opening my 5 intuitive channels so I can trust and receive my intuition and healing relief. I welcome your loving guidance into all 5 clair channels now, so I can take the next step, the next pain relieving step forward. I ask that the healing I received today, and I dedicate the healing I received today to all my relations in all directions of time. Now just breathe, take 3 deep breaths, and let yourself receive the Archangel's love and presence into your body and any pain points. The pain may be physical, the pain may be emotional. I'm working with the back of my heart right now, right side, back of my heart. Practice makes better. So what I'm seeing is an infusion of trust. Trust, and that that specific archangel's medicine. So Uriel is got like a golden yellow light. Jophiel, well, let's do it in order. Raziel is the rainbow ray. Orion is midnight blue, deep, deep, deep sky, midnight blue. And Jophiel is a magenta. She's had other colors as well, but she's coming through with magenta. And so this is all about trusting yourself. So letting yourself relax physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as you receive their healing light, their healing transmission. You're receiving the awakening of the claircognizance through the crown, trust, and innocence. Uriel pouring that in. You're receiving trust into the clairvoyance, into the third eye, power into the clairsentience in the belly, and the rainbow ray with Raziel. You're receiving clairaudience, this deep midnight blue light into the ears and ear chakras, awakening to miracles, to deep compassion. And then Jophiel with her beautiful magenta light, awakening the clairfragrance, your sacred sense of smell and taste, guiding you forward on your journey in this energy of patience, stopping and smelling the roses. So as you receive the color, you're receiving the color and the energetic transmission. And two things are happening. One is that you're detaching your clairs from the ego and other people's egos. There you go. And then the other thing is you're aligning your clairs with your angel's love, with the archangels and your personal team of angels. So just let that happen. Your body, as you release and receive your body, you may feel emotional, your body may twitch, shudder, move. It's all perfect. So just allow that to happen, and then let their love, their support, their comfort flow into that point of pain. Let the pain open to their love and healing energy so it can dissolve. And we're going to ask a couple of questions. Loving angels, how are you guiding me? Thank you. I knew that they told me the question earlier, then I forgot it. Where are you guiding me to trust more in my life? What part of my life? Maybe it's work or home or yourself or your body. Like, where are you guiding me to trust more in my life this week? Where are you guiding me to trust more? And I feel the angels coming in very close to wherever you're having any pain in the body. It could be physical or emotional, and they just placing their loving hands there. And then we ask, what lesson am I learning from this pain? What is the deeper meaning of this pain, this trauma? And as soon as I said trauma, there's like this release of the trauma that there we go. And the PTSD that's blocking the clairs, good release. Let go, let it flow down and out through the roots. That's why we're rooted into the earth. Let it flow out of maybe the back of the heart or through the crown of the head. However it releases is perfect. Sometimes you'll have a big release that'll feel intense. Sometimes you won't feel anything. Let's trust. I'm willing to get the gem of this pain. I'm willing to trust more. I'm willing to love more. I'm willing to ask for more help, more support, more guidance. Oh, anything else, angels? Anything else? Anything else? So I'm feeling the angels just step back and create this beautiful circle of light around you. And your guardian angels are drawing in near, just giving you a heart hug. As we bring our hands to our hearts in prayer mudra, we dedicate the healing that you've received today to all our relations in all directions of time. See, feel, know, and trust your angels are bowing to you with love and devotion and compassion. And we seal our inner journey with a namaste, namaste, and then Archangel Michael recalibrating your energy body to your normal daily activities on all 4 levels of your being, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, karmic, in all directions of time for your highest good and highest healing. Beautiful. And so it is. Ooh, okay. I am excited to see how your intuition is more open this week. So let me know what, let's pull from this deck because I know all the cards are in here. I'm going to pull a guardian angel message for you. Hi, welcome. All right. How is it that so feel free to put something in the chat, like where are your angels guiding you to trust more? Me right now, it's in my relationships and my relationship with my husband. That was my guidance. And just be open, right? Like you may not get the answer right now to what's the deeper meaning of the pain, but you may get it in a dream or when you're showering or, when you're in nature. So keep yourself open, right? How is it that you are increasing your ability to trust and ask for help this week? Guardian angel message. Woo. This is the card, transformation. Life-altering changes can be created now. It demands that you expand your skills, utilize your intuitive wisdom, and step out of your comfort zone. Take the leap. This is exactly what we're talking about. Ask the angels to take all the trauma and turn it into trust. Let your clairs open to the angelic realm to deepen your trust, right? It literally says demands that you expand your skills, utilize your intuitive wisdom, and step out of your comfort zone. This is about taking a leap of faith. And the leap of faith is trusting that you are loved beyond measure, trusting that the angels have your back, trusting that your body knows, right? Your body and your soul are intimately connected. Your body knows what it needs, and it's safe to listen to your body. It's safe to slow down. It's safe to trust your intuition. Welcome the angels of transformation this week. Welcome the archangels of trust this week. Maybe there's a specific clair that you're wanting to work with. I invite you to join us. It's an in-person women's retreat. I don't do a ton of in-person stuff, so I'm really excited about this. All the information's on my website. What we're going to do is, and I've been writing more about this and talking more about this, is we're going to slow everything down and we're going to open up each clair with a mantra, with that archangel. We're going to clear the fears. We're going to clear the shadows of that clair. And then we're going to spend time with a partner receiving messages through those clair channels. It's going to be relaxing, fun, healing. There's already several beautiful women. This is the women's retreat enrolled, and I would love for you and your angels to join us. So reach out, enroll today. And yeah, I'll send this replay through my newsletter like I always do. So if you're not signed up for that, go to my website, jokempterhealing.com, and you can sign up at the bottom of the page to receive, just to receive everything that I'm giving through my newsletter, which is a free offering. All right. Sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. Benicia, Sarah, Bettina, welcome, welcome. Love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.